Get out on the lake, let's go fishing. Just where we'll point that boat, nobody knows. Well, we don't know if it's gonna be feast or famine. So sit your ass back and enjoy the Big John Show. Let it go! Watch that stump over.
Alright guys, so we just got out to the spot. We're running a little bit behind, so we're going to gather up our stuff and we're going to try to get in here real quick. But the last time I think we were in here, we filmed those pigs for you. We got busted by a deer that day too. So we're going to try to slip in a little bit different than we've been slipping in. And see if we can't set up a little bit better. We might end up having to go just a little bit deeper. But so be it. If we can get ourselves in a little bit better spot and a little bit better wind and thermals and all that, it'll be better. I don't like going too deep into this spot until it's good and into the rut, but we'll go ahead and move a little bit deeper if we got to, just to have a better setup. But we're going to go ahead and gather all our stuff and get out in the woods. So next time you see us, we'll probably be in the woods. Alright guys, we just got set up good. We're going to sit here and get quiet pretty quick. It took us a minute to get back in here, and we kind of had to brush ourselves in once we got back here with some stuff that was just lying around. But we'll kind of show y'all what we're watching this setup. Part of the line, it's right up there, so we got to be careful not to shoot over it. But we'll show y'all that. So, piece of the line is right up there on that tree, so we just can't really shoot way up there. We can shoot that opening right there, but we can't shoot up there, so we'll have to be careful of that. But let's zoom y'all, wrong way, zoom y'all back out, and this is kind of what we're watching. Most of the trails are coming back off in this way, like through there and down off through here, coming up over this little corner right here and moving on out through there. But we're gonna sit here, sit tight, and hope that something moves on through this afternoon. But we'll be back with y'all if anything does. Alright guys, welcome back. But yesterday afternoon's hunt was a bit of a bust. We kind of had a coyote or a dog chase a doe through. Couldn't really tell which it was, but we're gonna kind of go back out today. I'm trying to decide where I want to go. I'm not sure if I want to go back in there again or if I want to slip somewhere else, but we're gonna kind of figure it out as we go. But right now we're just going to take some shots at the target, and I'm going to show y'all kind of my setup. It's nothing fancy, which some of y'all probably saw if y'all watched the little short video. But these are the Ted Nugent, which I shoot 300 spine. They're, I don't know if y'all be able to read, but they're 10.8 grains per inch. So they're a pretty heavy arrow, but with as close as I like to get them, I ain't much worried about speed. I don't shoot much past 25 if I don't have to. But we're going to go ahead and take a couple shots, which I think this is like 15 yards. It actually might be more like 16. And I was a yard off. It's 17. So what we're going to do, we're going to step, take a few shots for y'all. We're just going to kind of work our pins back. So I actually have one at 15, one at 20, 25. 30 and 35, just because it doesn't bother me to have all my pins and just pick the right pin to put there. I know some people like a little more gap in their pins. I don't have that issue with having to, I guess, having my pins too close. I know my uncle sets his at like 20, 30, and like 20, 30, 40, whatever. I'm pretty sure that's how he has it set up. But I just have mine like that because I like to be able to If they're 15 and in, I like to be able to point and shoot and not have to aim low, really. With the 20, I can kind of just, I know if my 20 is on them, I'm good. Or if I know they're a touch less than 20, I'll just shoot I'll shoot my top pin. It just kind of lines everything up for me. It's how I've shot most of the time, so. And it's a little bit easier when you can kind of guesstimate and you're not having to take a guess at, is it between this pin, how far between this pin and that pin? Because it's just a quick point shoot more than I'm having to add another thing to figure out in my head while it's all happening. Because a lot of times what happens is you end up saying 20 and they're at 25, so you just hold your pin high, and sometimes that everything happening in the moment, you just put your pin on them and shoot. So I've gotten to where I shoot every 5 yard, like put my pins at every 5 yard increments, which I'll show you guys here. And it doesn't add for, well, if I can get it lined up, it doesn't add for much gap between your first set of pins, but you start getting a little bit between the other ones. But a lot of people would say that's too close. It doesn't bother me none. These pins, I make sure I shoot really small pins too. Which I have glasses, but I can see pretty well, so I shoot really small pins if I can get away with it, which I also shoot off of a Whisker Biscuit right now. I'll eventually switch to a drop away, but I've shot a Whisker Biscuit quite a bit and never had any issues out of them, nothing like that. They're reliable, especially up close. Now when you're trying to get into them 30-yard shots, a drop away where everything's a little bit more smooth, you don't get any wiggle, you don't get a whole lot of play in the arrow. It's just kind of sitting there, and it's going to sit how it's going to sit every time. You don't have a little bit of drift this way, that way, where it's just relaxing in here. Also, you don't get the sound if you start shaking of the arrow in the Whisker Biscuit. The Whisker Biscuit does make a little sound if you get to that buck fever. But we're going to go ahead and take these shots. I know I'm kind of prolonging this, but we'll go ahead and take these shots. We'll take them pretty quick because we're close. But we're just gonna aim for the we'll aim for the top right, which I hit right in the dot like you want, which we're right here, and it's probably a 2.5 inch dot, maybe pushing 3, but which that one was a little high, but I was trying not to hit my other arrow. But we'll see if we can't zoom in on that instead of trying to walk y'all all the way up there. But the top right there, you can see the ones right in the bottom of the dot, which I was aiming for the middle, which the top, you see, but then the other one's right in the top of the dot, which was, I was aiming a little bit higher on the dot anyways, just so I didn't hit my other arrow. Could have aimed for a different dot, but I'd want to make sure they were being consistent. I am shooting the arrows that I'm hunting with. So we're going to zoom back out. We're going to go get those, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. But we went ahead, since those shots were actually pretty good, we went ahead and backed up to about 30, which I think I just ranged it. It was 29. So we'll kind of step over and back when we take this shot, so it's 30. But we're just gonna go ahead and take these shots. Hopefully this vehicle's not too loud for y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and take these shots down at the target. We're also gonna show y'all. I don't think I showed y'all the bow that I'm shooting, but it's a Edge XT. It's a diamond. I've shot a few different diamonds. Shot a Martin for a long time, and then those are kind of the two main ones that I've shot. Diamonds are pretty good when you want to be able to change stuff at home and do stuff at home, draw whatever. And another reason I got this one was because once I eventually move on to another bow, this one drops real low and I can pass it on to my kids. So I did get this one because I plan on getting one next year. This will be kind of like a backup, or it'll go to my kids. But they're great bows. They're great starter bows. You can get higher end ones, but this is just a great starter bow. I think it was like $450, so it's like one of your budget bows. But it shoots real well. It's real fast. It's pretty quiet. I could probably make it quieter, I haven't really done anything for that. But we're going to take these shots at 30 real quick. We're going to step back. Hopefully I'm still in frame for you guys pretty good. I can't see the screen right now. But we're going to take these shots. We're going to shoot these more at the middle just to be safe. Which I can't really tell from back here. It's just enough grass poking up in front of that target. I think that one actually might have went just a little low. I think they might both. I don't know. I'm not real sure. I think they might both be right around the dot. We'll take y'all up there on this one because I don't think I'll be able to zoom in and y'all get a good look on this one. But we're going to take y'all up there and look at it too because we both can't see it. Alright guys. Oh, hold up. Let's get y'all adjusted. So it's about like I figured. That one, this one is a touch low. This one went a little bit more. My second shot went a little bit more where I wanted, but that one was a touch low, which is fine at 30. Usually they're going to have some little reaction at times at 30. So I have had some staying completely still, but I don't mind being a touch low at 30. Same with 35. That's where my last pin is. I don't ever really shoot that, but practicing. Furthest deer I've ever shot was just under 30. I think it was like 27. But everything else has kind of been around that 15 and in. Now I did shoot that one doe last week. Yeah, last week. Which the first shot I took at her was at probably 15. And I'm not real sure what happened because it was so close so fast. I'm pretty sure I smacked a branch or just a little bitty twig or something. And it kind of cockeyed my arrow and kind of sent it upwards. Because I could never even find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. But then the second shot, she was only about 20, maybe 21, just over 20 yards. So, but I'm pretty happy with those shots. I would definitely look into a diamond if you're looking for a budget bow. And the Edge XT is a pretty good one, the Infinite Edge. But we're gonna get ready to go out this afternoon and get everything ready for y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and take these out, go switch and put our broadheads back on, and maybe sharpen them up a little bit. But we're gonna get ready for this afternoon for y'all. Hopefully we see some this afternoon. Yesterday was kind of a bust, other than the doe came running through that was getting chased by the coyote or dog. So we're gonna go do that, and we'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, so we just got in here where we wanted to. There's plenty of acorns dropping around us. We're kind of sitting in this dead limb. We actually have, I could see it a minute ago, but there's a fresh rub in here, and there's some older ones right back behind me. I'll try to show y'all one of them here in a minute, but there's actually two of them right there. But there's two old rubs in here, a fresher one, which that must have just popped up. But we're on the back side of the camp, and we're just going to kind of see what happens. We're going to get quiet because we got in here kind of late. We went to hit another spot and hopped out the truck, just kind of eyeballing what the wind was doing. And it was a bit swirly over there, so decided to opt to come over here. Got a little bit better wind, and the movement should come kind of through where we're at. It's pretty thick right here, so anything that does come in is going to be really close. So hopefully we can get some good footage. May not be able to do too much movement, so it's probably going to be GoPro. But if we can get the big camera on them, we'll get the big camera on them. But we're set up. We're going to sit here, sit tight, and see what rolls through. And the fresh one was somewhere up in there. Alright guys, confidence level just went down in this spot quite a bit. We're getting a little bit of swirlage right in here. And it's trying to pull back towards where I think some of the deer might be coming from. But it's not quite hitting that way too good. So we're just going to sit tight and hope that the thermals start to take over and pull it down behind us a little bit more. That way they'll move in front of us and all that. That way that's over here where they're moving. They'll want to be, because the wind's kind of wanting to skirt and touch that way, but we're expecting them to come that way, and the wind keeps kind of doing that, but we're expecting them that way. They might even come up over this hill, which would be perfect, but if we keep getting this swirl, I'm not too confident in this afternoon. We're going to stick around and just see what happens. We're not too deep into this spot. Like I said, most of our early season stuff's to get does. We'll move in on the bucks later in the season. The closer it gets to October, the end of October, beginning of November, the more the bucks will be on their feet. Also, you're only allowed to shoot does on correlate until archery season's over, so I try to get my does while it's still archery. But that was a little mid-hunt interview. It's kind of getting swirly, not too confident, but we're going to sit tight and hope that they're going to come from where we expect them and not going to do anything weird and come just to the downwind of us, which is possible, but I don't feel like they should moving through here. I feel like they should stay more to that side, but the wind's wanting to kind of go off that way just a little bit. I don't think it's fully gone off that way yet, but it's gotten pretty close a few times. We're just going to sit tight though. Alright guys, it just happened. They came in just off to the side of us, kind of where I expected, and the wind blew and whipped our scent right over there to them. But they blew, they took off. We're just gonna kind of chill here till dark. Maybe they'll come back. They didn't have a clue what it was. They just smelled me. But we'll just sit tight and see what happens. Alright guys, so we just made it back to the truck. As y'all saw, we got busted. It's kind of like I was telling y'all, the wind was kind of swirling. I was worried about it swirling back towards where they were coming from. And we had it pretty consistent. They walked in probably fed for 2 or 3 minutes, and I was trying to get slowly turned and everything that way to kind of face them, and was just getting everything set up, was about to hit record on everything, and the wind started to blow. And when the wind blew, I felt it kind of hit me in the side of the face and head towards them. And right then I kind of knew. She just lifted her head up at first, and he kind of looked, and then we got another little good breeze, and she just busted on out of there. But we went ahead and got out of there just a little bit early. We're going to head down, get back to the house, get something to eat, and we'll be back with you guys in the morning. So, remember, like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. So, we'll be back with y'all in the morning though.